recording now. I have just entered the Natchez Trace Parkway, which is the Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi equivalent of the Blue Ridge Parkway. It has a lot more history of cargo and slaves and different activities on this. There's Old Trace and New Trace, and my goal today is to go about halfway, maybe a little under, get me to Tupelo, overnight there, get some rest, and then take the rest of the trip down to Natchez, Mississippi. I was hoping there'd be some kind of signage. There's a sign on the bridge behind me that I just crossed, but there was no way to stop on the road and take a picture, not to do it safely. So we'll just continue along here. My understanding, there's a lot of viewpoints or historical items to see on the first half of the trace, and it gets a little more spread out on the bottom. I have ridden Natchez Trace in a car for a short distance in Mississippi, but this is my first experience on a motorcycle. And here's the gate. I guess it's mile marker 442. Trace is open. I know that this is used as a transfer or a commuter road in addition to national park / scenic highway. So we'll see what happens. Definitely looking forward to this. I've wanted to ride the Trace for a long time, and finally getting a chance to do it as part of the Alaska Adventure. I think that this is really the last major thing on the to-do list for this trip, and the rest will just be kind of meandering along. I'm looking forward to heading down to Florida, seeing John and his new house, John and Patty, and yeah, we'll just see what it is. Here's our first bicyclist. I think this first part of the trace at some point makes a kink through the corner of Alabama. I don't know if there'll be any signage alluding to that, but we'll see what we get. This definitely has the feel of the Blue Ridge Parkway. At this point, a lot less mountainous, but just the way the road is set up and maintained. They say to stay off this at night because there's a lot of wildlife that is on the road, and you don't want to hit a deer or some other critter out here. I figure, since I left the hotel an hour earlier than I normally would, just to be able to get here and experience this, yeah, I could buzz along a little faster, but 35 miles an hour is perfectly fine. And generally, this is the speed that I ride the Blue Ridge on when I ride that. I don't know if the microphone is picking it up. It's a little breezy. I think the steady winds were 6 miles an hour going up to 10 with gusts 17 to 20. Now at this speed it really won't be a big deal. I don't even know how the battery is over here. Hey, here's a sign. And I think I'm going to be a little cheeky and just pull over right here and do a picture. Okay. Mission accomplished. And now we'll just proceed on. Okay, I don't know what these are. Turkeys. Wild turkeys. There we go. Well, all right, we got a picture of the sign. And hopefully the wild turkey showed up on the camera. And at this point, we can just kind of meander along through here. I mean, temperature is 77. They say there's one more day of high humidity. That's up here in the Nashville area. I stayed in Kingston Springs at a Quality Inn. I stayed there on my last time through and had a similar decent experience. And the beauty of that, it was 12 miles from the access point at the very beginning of the trace. Now, one of the things that I am going to have to figure out at some point is how to get on and off the trace without getting lost so that I can get some fuel. I filled up right near the hotel, and you know, I should have, well, it says 214 miles. I'm not going to push it that far, but I will push it to 175, 180. I always like to leave myself enough. Hey, mile marker 439. Enough so that if I really get in a tight spot, you know, I've got 50 miles of additional searching for whatever it is that I need. But right now it's 77 degrees. All the zippers open on the suit, and having some shade, it's really a comfortable ride. Yesterday ended up just at 90, but man, I felt the humidity, you know, as I was coming out of Kentucky, and it definitely felt swampy inside the suit when I finally got it off. I don't think, well, I guess if you were really, you know, iron button it and riding at the posted limits, you could probably do this in one day, but, you know, why do it? Birdsong Hollow. There is hope. Don't jump off the bridge. Whoa, I didn't realize we were up this high. I think that's 100 down below us. I don't know if they call it Highway 100 or Route 100, but that's the road I needed to take to get here. Say that Tennessee is a beautiful state. Nice rolling hills. Really a pleasant place. Franklin Historic District. Franklin is a nice town, definitely on the expensive side, and many years ago, it was a place where a lot of the country music singers would have a home. A lot of money in that area. Hey, there's another wild turkey. Mile marker 437. So I guess they have a lot of wild turkeys up here in Tennessee. In Missouri, on roads like this, I would frequently come around a corner and there'd be a deer standing there in the middle of the road and it'd just look at me. I'd beep the horn and flash the lights, and eventually the thing would move off, but, you know, I guess that's why so many of them get run over. Well, I hope that the whole trip down the Trace is very similar to this, because this is just 5-star road riding territory. You know, I mean, this is just beautiful. And the shade from the trees makes it comfortable. Now, I'm going to go by memory, and the memory is going to take me back 15 years or so. But my guess is the Mississippi part of the Trace is a little more open, a little less tree-lined. But we'll see. And I'm trying to remember if the Trace takes us over towards the Mississippi at some point. I know where it comes out at Natchez is going to be right next to the Mississippi River, or near the Mississippi River, and then you'll have Louisiana on the other side of the river. The bike generally gets pretty good fuel economy, you know, riding along at these speeds, not stressing the engine, just kind of running it along in 4th gear at about 3,500 RPM. Suzuki did do a good job with the fueling on this engine, and the power delivery down low, it's not a real revvy engine. You can take it up to 9,500. I think I did it once or twice just to see what it was like. But really, once you go above 7, you know, there's really no need for it. Mile marker 435. Miles are just clicking away. Light breeze coming through here really feels nice. You know, after a couple of weeks of just being hammered with high winds out on the flatlands, to get into something like this is really a treat. Surprised with all the motorcycling that I've done that I've never actually ridden this road.